Remember the first 5 minutes, Tan and Cromwell and I like gravitated towards each other and ended up just like Cromwell was cold because he's always cold. And he like took Tan's jacket and like wore Tan's jacket the rest of the day. And the three of us is like really hit it off and we're always with each other if we weren't doing auditions. And then eventually like Jonathan kind of twirled into it and Anthony, you know. and we actually, the five of us really did like each other. And even before we got cast, I had a group text with just the five of us. That was called Fab Five. I was like, we're gonna get it. I'm putting this out there. I'm putting this out there. But I think at the end of the day, like, that's what amazing. The casting people saw. They saw that, oh, the five of these guys, they actually really like each other and they really have good chemistry and they're already rooting for each other. Like, But so that night, Thursday night, midnight came around. I still had not gotten no call. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to Spain. I think like 1 in the morning, my phone rang. And it was David Collins, a creative Queer Eye. And he's like, hey, I just want you to know, we want you to come back. We're going to see you in the morning. And then he was like, without giving anything away, you're our first choice.
Aww.
And I was like, what? And so then I get there.
Without giving anything away.
But the funny thing is, like, I get there the next day and they had eliminated multiple people from all the other categories. But my category, like everybody but one person was still there. And I'm like, wait. Did you, you said that to everybody, didn't you? Which I don't know. But at the end of the day, like that day, they had us doing all this chemistry testing together where they'd put, you know, one person from each category in a room together and we'd have to do these like little fake episodes. And, you know, at first it was always Tan and Karamo and I, because I think they saw like we meshed with each other from literally the moment we walked in the room. And then, you know, every once in a while they'd rotate one of us out, but the three of us were pretty consistently in there. And then Jonathan and Anthony were pretty consistently in there. And like every time one of us would need to like leave to go out, get rotated out or go use the bathroom, like we'd notice more and more people were gone. And that ballroom was getting emptier and emptier. And then finally at like 9 p.m. they're like, all right, we're going to take a break. And we all went out to like go use the bathroom and we looked in the ballroom and there was no one else there.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And we were like, oh my God, we got it. And they're like, no, there's actually another group doing a filming of a fake episode at a house right now. Now you're going to go do that too.
Wow.
And so after we filmed that, they're like, all right, you know, it's in God's hands now and we're God.
Did they really say that?
Yeah. They really said that. It's in God's hands now.
And then you were just like,
I'm not gonna call him out and say exactly which executive said that, but he was like, "You're in God's hands now, and I'm God." Yeah. We were like, "Okay, God." And we after that, we actually
I have to call you that from now on.
Yes, actually, I still call him Mr. God. We actually didn't find out for a few weeks after that we had actually gotten it.
That's
and then
incredible.
just like a week later, we got whisked away to Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah.
To start filming.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because casting, I guess, took way longer than it was supposed to.
Yeah, it sounds like a huge ordeal.
Yeah.
I want to ask Bobby, I need to know a little bit more about what happens in the room, how the sausage gets made. How is it that you... We debated whether I would say this
how
or not.
How the sausage gets made.
No, yes. How do you...
I don't think I've heard
Wait,
that.
you've never
You've
heard
never
that?
heard that? What's funny is that I say it.
It's a common phrase.
It is. I say it enough that I've gotten the feedback like, just stop saying that.
So I really want to know.
How does the
sausage get made?
Yeah. How is it that you can do what you do on Queer Eye in such a short amount of time?
You've heard of magical elves, right?
Yeah, that's what you have.
Yeah. I go to sleep and I wake up and it's like that.
Someone else is doing that.
No, I would definitely say I do less now than I used to.
Yeah.
Like season 1 through 4, I was there every single day, hands-on, very much into designing every single little detail.
Yeah.
I've had the same team with me since season 1. Like they are family to me. We vacation together. Like they're everything. And so like I wholeheartedly trust them. And they know, since we work together 24/7, 7 days a week for seasons and seasons, they know the decisions that I would make. And so now luckily I get to focus a little more on being on the show. And I can let, you know, the reins go to them because again, we're in each other's head. So I know I can show up and it's going to look exactly like I would have looked if I was there 24/7.
Yeah.
You said that working on the show was emotionally draining and sometimes you'd go home crying. Yeah. And I'm just wondering, have you found ways to cope with sort of the emotional toll of working on Queer Eye?
Well, and actually, can you talk a little bit about why? Like, I mean, I think we probably understand some, but like that's a lot to come home every day.
I mean, the reason being is that we really did have those emotional connections with these people and like perfect strangers. And when you're having to not only bear the burden of their emotions and their trauma and the things that they've been through and having to grow, but also in order to get them to open up, relive your own trauma. Because our heroes, the way we get them to open up is that we open up about things that we've been through. Yeah. And there's a lot of things that we opened up about on our show that we hadn't really dealt with in real life, you know, but we're in the moment and we're like, all right, this person is not opening up. I need to share something about my life that will cause them to forget the cameras are there and just be in the moment with me. So yeah, there was a lot of times where I would go home and I would cry because I had just ripped open a wound that I had, you know, bandaged, I thought, for life. And I then had to emotionally deal with that. And for your question, have I learned? I just don't have as much emotion anymore.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. I've had to, I mean, I would still say I'm still that person that, you know, cries at dog commercials, this and that. You know, I'm a very emotional person. And other than Anthony, I definitely cry the most on the show. But I've learned how to not let it destroy me every time.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
We were watching an interview that you did on YouTube. I don't remember the name, but I was struck because I think you were given some pictures of different Queer Eye heroes, and you were just like, yep, this is this person, this is this person, naming them off like no problem. And that really struck me. I mean, it makes sense. You spend quite a bit of concentrated time together, but yeah, that you really do become very close. Just create relationships.
I mean, there's a lot of them that I still talk with all the time, like Neil Reddy from season 2. Him and I were texting this morning. You know, there's some I've never seen again. There's some I've never heard from again. But they're each and every one of us connect with different heroes in a different way on a different level. You know, some I don't connect with at all. And I'm like, well, this was a week. And then there's some that I'm like, this is my lifelong friend. You know, and there's others where like that hero that I like had zero connection with, one of the other Fabbers will have a great connection with them, you know. We don't always all connect on the same level. So there's some of them that are lifelong friends.